We just left the fishing village in Tanzania, coming up this slope on the left, and here's a man headed into town with a load of wood, either for himself or to sell. There's a pretty modern house surrounded by some traditional huts. School children are probably headed home for lunch. And this man has 3 head of cattle, taking them somewhere. And this is a roadside cafe. And here's a rice paddy out of season. The main mode of transportation still seems to be on foot. Here's a small shopping area. And here's a school. And this man is looking for people that he wants to pull over, check their documents, check the car out, whatever he wants. Here's some more stores. Don't look like they have a lot of business. And then we got into more countryside. These hills and the huge big boulders remind me of Southern California and parts of Arizona. Here's a couple of modern houses. Notice how the roofs are pyramid shaped. That's very traditional. We saw lots of small stores right along the road. And here we have a school. And here's some people walking along the sidewalk. We're in a more urban area. This is probably a father giving his daughter a ride on the bike. Meanwhile, over here on this lawn, a group of ladies are washing clothes and hanging them on the bushes to dry. Here's some more school kids, probably out for lunch. And every time we saw groups of small kids, they smiled and waved and seemed to be happy to see us. Along this road from our bus, we had a beautiful view of the countryside. This is a larger population area. It's about an hour and a half from where we started at the fishing village. I've certainly found out where all the people are. I don't know if this is a daily occurrence, but this certainly appears to be a market day. Goods for sale everywhere, including cattle, it appears. Nice to warn people that there's a steep slope ahead. This woman is pumping water, probably from a community pump. Here's some more striking scenery of the boulders and the hills. And here we have a candelabra cactus. We did see these throughout Africa. Here's some more nice scenery. We're just south of where the Mara River empties into Lake Victoria. This appears to be an isolated farm. More stunning hills covered with boulders. Here we are at the Tanzania-Kenya border. It's a very simple gate to allow people to cross from one country to the other. But first, of course, we had to go into the immigration office and exit Tanzania, get our passport stamped, and then show our documents to re-enter Kenya. We went north for about another 45 minutes and then turned east on a more narrow road. Lots more stores with quite a variety of goods for sale. Here's a more modern building, and then we have a lot that are not so modern. This man has a load of bananas, probably for sale. Behind him is a gas station that also sells kerosene. And next to him, this lady does have a few produce items to sell, but mainly She's selling vegetable oil in those yellow containers. Our tour director, George, stopped at one of these little stores and bought us some candy. Right here along the road is a medical care center, and almost next door is this newer apartment building. A minute further down the road, and this is a side business street that we saw. Here's some pretty green countryside. It's another small shopping area. There's a hotel and hardware store. It's 2 hours since we crossed the border into Kenya, and here we are in the northern Serengeti. It's wedged between the central Serengeti and Kenya's Masai Mara. This corner of the Serengeti has gorgeous landscapes of green rolling hills, granite outcrops, and acacia woodlands, dotting open savanna and incredible wildlife. 2 hours after turning off the main road onto the side road, we arrived at the gate to the Mara Triangle. The National Park admissions fees here are $80 US money per adult per day. Hey, and only $45 for children under the age of 12. A lot cheaper than Disneyland, and a lot more to see and do. No thrill rides, but that's just fine with us. From the gate to our lodge was about half an hour. Here's the backside of a rhinoceros, a couple of hyenas, and here's an eland. Located in the western Mara Triangle sector of the Masai Mara National Reserve, the 74-room Mara Serena Safari Lodge is one of the oldest and largest properties in the Mara ecosystem, dating from 1973. Down the steps into the atrium of the lobby, huge windows open onto a terrace, offering beautiful views of the reserve beyond. Description of the decor in the lobby is 70s kitsch meets modern Masai. It's all smooth curves and yellow, ochre, brown, and white paint in swirls and blobs. It's an organic looking style that's followed throughout the lodge. The 74 guest rooms are accessed down steps and sloping paths. They consist of rows of flat-topped units with curved profiles painted in earthy gray tones, emulating the local Masai architectural earth and cow dung style. The brightly decorated rooms are small, with just enough room to walk around the beds. There's a small seating area at the front of each room with glass doors leading out to a balcony with just enough room to look over and enjoy the view.